Claims expressed are those of the program producer and are not endorsed by this station. Opinions expressed are not necessarily those of radio station KMET, its management, employees, or affiliates.
It's time to steer the line.
Touchdown!
Sports betting, fantasy football, and the latest NFL news. Featuring Loud Esmond, Christian Giordani, Rocky Giordani, and Jeremy James. Bet on us to make you a better better.
What?
Let's get ready to steer the line.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another segment of Steer the Line. NFL Week 2 is over, and Week 3 is coming in. I'm Christian Giordani, your host, your analytics expert. We got Mr. Loud Esmond, our betting prognosticating expert, Jeremy James, our fantasy football expert, and Rocky Giordani, our former ex-professional athlete. How are you guys doing today so far?
Good. Bad. That was a crazy week, man. A lot of upsets.
Yeah,
I was upset.
Yeah, a lot of crazy things happening and a lot of injuries going on, so we're going to dive right into it. Nick Chubb, unfortunately, out for the remainder of the year. He has a dislocation with 3 torn ligaments in the same knee he injured back in 2015 back in Georgia. Such a disappointment for the Browns this year. In my opinion, I think it should have been Deshaun Watson, but we all know how it goes. Jeremy, I know you're a big Nick Chubb guy. How you feeling about it?
Yeah, it's horrible. It's when you see anyone go down, it's horrible. You know, there's been a lot of season-ending injuries to some major players out there already, and I hate to see it. It totally screws over the Browns season, I think, and it's just tough. It's tough for the fans. It's tough for the teams. It's tough for fantasy football. And it's just horrible to see. I hate when these guys get injured like this, especially when it's this early and it's out for the season.
Rocky?
Yeah, I hate to see it. Nick Chubb's one of the top 5, maybe top 3, maybe the best running back in the NFL. This really does hurt the Browns. Like if they haven't, but now they have an excuse, right? So they're bringing in Kareem Hunt, right? And that'll stop the bleeding for a little bit. But Deshaun Watson's still going to be a problem. I don't think Nick Chubb was going to – he was the only shot they had. Now they got no shot. There you
go. Loud?
Well, let me just say in all seriousness, the important thing to remember here is thank God he wasn't on my fantasy football team.
Absolutely. Yeah. Too soon, Lou, but it's okay.
Too soon. And – another NFL star that's out for the remainder of the year, Trayvon Diggs as well, who tore his ACL in practice. Loud, I know you want to do it. Go ahead.
Practice. Did you talk about practice?
No, practice.
I'm sorry. Am I appropriating?
I don't even know, man. But that's a big hit for a stacked Cowboys defense. They still have Stephon Gilmore, a guy they got in the offseason, but
he's old.
Jeremy, is he a number 1 guy still in a Dallas defense like that?
No, he's not. They lost their number 1 guy, unfortunately. It'll help having a veteran there, especially for whoever has to step in for Diggs. Or they're going to need some veteran leadership and some help back there. They still got a good front 4. They still have some good players on that defense, but this definitely hurts.
Rocky.
Yeah, listen. You hate to see anybody go down. I mean, really, seriously, you know how I feel about that, Chris. I never want to see anybody get hurt. But even if it helps my team win. But if anybody could afford if any defense in the NFL could afford to lose a guy, it's Dallas. They're pretty deep. I think they bring in the new acquisition, and I think he plugs right in pretty well to that defense. I think they're going to be okay. I mean, it's too bad, but it's going to hurt them, of course. But I don't think it's going to hurt. It would hurt them less than it would have another team to lose a number 1 D-back.
Loud.
Well, I have the 49ers defense in fantasy football, so I don't care.
Attaboy.
Right. We got it there. So a guy like Trayvon Diggs goes down. Guy like Nick Chubb goes down. Nick Chubb's replacement's already in. Kareem Hunt just signed $4 million with some incentives.
And he was looking for a gig, so good for him.
Yeah, great for him.
Yeah, he needed a job.
Yeah, so he got a $4 million deal with some incentives to work with. 30 touchdown gives him another $40 million at the end of this year, which is unobtainable for him. Does Dallas go out and trade for a guy like J.C. Jackson or another elite corner to fill in that spot for Trayvon Diggs? Or do they work with what they got and try to fill in the pieces in the offseason? Loud, I'll let you go ahead and take this one right now.
You know what? I listened to a lengthy discussion about this morning on one of the pro football shows. There's nobody out there. I mean, there's nobody that they can go get that's even close to as good as that guy. And really, shutdown cornerbacks are almost as rare as really good left tackles or outstanding quarterbacks. So it's one of those positions. It ain't guard, right? It's not interior defensive lineman. So if Dallas wants to go get somebody who's near that guy's level, they're going to have to give up a king's ransom. And I just don't think it's their DNA anymore, with Jerry calling less of the shots and the son calling more.
Jeremy, anything to put in?
Yeah, when you mention a trade, it's interesting you bring up J.C. Jackson out of Los Angeles, former New England Patriot, because in New England he was a shutdown corner, and you might have to wonder if Los Angeles has a little bit of buyer's remorse because he went down early last year, and he's not the same guy out there on the field so far. That entire secondary is looking bad, so maybe that is something they could do. Maybe a better, a new change of scenery for someone like him would do the trick. But I don't know. I think, like Rocky said earlier, they're pretty deep. I think they may roll with what they have. And just on a quick side note, for the whole Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt thing, I know they signed Hunt, but keep an eye on the guy that replaced Chubb that night. I think his last name is Ford. It escapes my name
Yeah,
from my head
Jerome.
right now. Jerome Ford.
Yes.
Keep an eye on him to actually be the lead ball carrier throughout the season, with Kareem Hunt going back to his change of pace kind of role. And keep an eye on that for fantasy football for sure.
Rocky, anything to say with Trayvon?
Yeah. I just want to agree with that. I think Ford will probably be the number one right now, mostly because he knows the playbook better. Hunt can come in. He was a great running back for a brief time, and he'll be able to plug in there. But I think I agree with Jeremy. I don't think he'll be the number one running back for at least the foreseeable future.
All right. Well, that's our NFL week update right now. So we're gonna transition to our betting odds. As Loud likes to say, our Wonder Dog segment of the show. Loud, I'll let you go ahead first and pick your Wonder Dog of the week.
All right, so my Wonder Dog is the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers and the Raiders, man, back in the 70s, 80s, 90s, even into the 2000s, you're talking about some classic games, a great rivalry, and a lot has been said about how Kenny Pickett and Pickens, and they look great in the preseason, haven't looked good so far. If there's any team they can get right against, it's the Las Vegas Raiders. The Raiders right now are the worst defense statistically in the NFL at the number 32, according to the ESPN rankings that I saw earlier today. They don't have a pass rush because their coach is stupid and has taken one of their best pass rushers and put him in the doghouse with illness designation that he got a couple days ago. So they're depriving themselves of their own pass rush. Max Crosby can't do it all by himself. The back end of the Raiders sucks. I'm looking at Pittsburgh to win that game outright.
I think that's a really good pick. I would have to disagree with it, though, but we'll get on later. Jeremy, your Wonder Dog of the week.
I didn't prepare a Wonder Dog of the week, to be honest. So I'm not entirely sure what a Wonder Dog is.
It's a team that is not favored to win that you think is going to win.
Any underdog.
Unlikely winner.
We should explain that to the audience because they're probably thinking, is it a hot dog? I'll just piggyback on Louds a little bit because I don't think the Steelers are going to win this game. Of course, I'm a homer. It's the season opener or the home opener for the Raiders in Las Vegas. And they looked rough last week against Buffalo, but Buffalo, in Buffalo, they were angry. They were going to be fired up. Anyone can look bad against Buffalo sometimes. I think they'll bounce back a bit. I'm not saying they're a great defense, but they got some young talent on that team that I see getting better week to week, and hopefully they bring it together.
All right, Rocky, your Wonder Dog pick.
Yeah, so Wonder Dog, the underdog, the biggest underdog that you think has a chance is the segment. So
right.
But I want to explain to the people who are listening to me, waiting, because they are going to bet on some of my picks. I wouldn't bet on this underdog, but my underdog pick of the week. I'm going to call them the Redskins already, even though they're the Washington Commanders against the Bills. Washington's at home. Bills are coming in. if the Commanders pull this off and start at 3-0 and beat the Bills, the whole conversation in the NFL is going to change. Everybody be talking a whole nother different conversation if the Washington Commanders can beat the Buffalo Bills in Washington.
All right. I don't hate that pick either. It was something I had in mind as well. But I'm going with my hometown team, the Los Angeles Rams, going to Cincinnati, plus 2.5 for my Wonder Dog pick of the week. Joe Burrow.
I flirted with that one, honestly, because I picked up Matt Stafford as my quarterback in fantasy football this week.
Really?
Yeah, because look at the passing stats of the Rams. They're great.
He's been killing it.
And he's doing it with people named Puka and
Puka
Nakua and nobody.
I love that name.
And
Puka
Puka
Nakua.
Shells and whatever. But anyway, yeah, I'm along the same lines with you in that one.
The Rams.
Yeah, Joe Burrow, he's questionable for the game. They're thinking of doing a platooning role between him and Jake Browning. But it looks like Jake Browning's going to be taking a majority of the snaps.
They should sit Burrow for 3 weeks.
Yeah, get it over with.
Come back.
And they can. They can. This is the softest part of their schedule. They better do it now.
Well, and the Browns are no threat. And the Steelers, after this win against the Raiders, will probably lose 5 or 6 games in a row. So, the Bengals would still have a chance in that division.
Yeah.
Yeah, so with Joe Burrow out, Jake Browning being the starting quarterback for majority of the game, I love the Rams to win this.
Wasn't he selling insurance last year?
I don't even know, man.
I don't know. Anyway.
This is going to be his first NFL start, I believe, if he does. And while I'm on this game, Puka Nakua plus 750 for first touchdown scorer. I love it. I think he's been carrying the Rams offense a lot this year along with Kyron Williams. They're finally going to receive this guy. They're going to give him the treat that he needs with a touchdown. So plus
as the betting expert on the show, that worries me for the very reason that it doesn't matter who Matt Stafford is throwing to. It's all about the design of the offense. It's not that Puka Nakua is a great receiver. He's probably, as far as talent, maybe number 150 in the NFL. But the way the offense is designed is so good. So it's like the 49ers in a way that they could plug in. I feel like watching the 49ers and the Rams, you could plug in just about anybody at the skill positions, and they would do great.
All right. Well, that wraps up our Wonder Dog segment for this week.
Wait, let's recap. Wonder Dogs, I've got the Steelers. Rocky has
Washington Commanders.
Jeremy has.
I'll have one next week, since now I know what the segment's about.
Oh, okay. And you had the Raiders, who really should be an underdog in this game.
Yeah.
Christian?
I had the Rams.
Okay.
All right.
There you go.
So moving forward to our best picks, our best bets of the week. So going on, Rocky, I know you got one right out of the hand you want to get to, so let's get on to it.
I'm going my pick of the week, and this is the one, Caitlin Austin. Caitlin Austin, everybody else who's listening, waiting to click that button. I think the Miami Dolphins at home in September, minus 6.5, is it, against a Denver Bronco team that has just not gotten there. I believe that
why is this line not 14?
Yeah, I know. Well, then there's the Cardinals line, the Dallas and the Cardinals. That could be 22, but it's 12.5. I mean, I have no idea. But I like my pick of the week is the Miami Dolphins at home with a visiting Broncos team that has showed me nothing at all. They've had a couple of flashes of okay. But Sean Payton probably won't be there next year. Russell Wilson won't finish the season, in my opinion.
Going in for me, my pick of this week is the Las Vegas Raiders.
Yeah!
Beating the
you're
Pittsburgh
gonna make
Steelers.
The Raiders your best bet.
Yes.
Pick of the week.
Kidding.
They're your underdog team, and if they're his pick of the week.
That is my pick of the week.
Wow.
Look, Raiders still have a solid core. Jimmy G's not as bad as we all thought he was going to be at the beginning of this year. The Steelers offense is quiet all year long. The only bright spot I've seen in it is George Pickens. Kenny Pickett can't throw for a positive yard to save his life, especially in the second half. That's all I'm gonna say on the rest of it. Loud, go on ahead, and you can stop being a Browns fan and hide in your face.
Loud has left the building.
Not only did he jump ship, but he became a full-blown hater when it comes to the Las Vegas Raiders.
I'm a realist. I'm not a hater. I'm being They are ranked as the 32nd worst defense in the NFL.
In the league.
They are ranked as the 22nd best offense in the NFL. I'm sorry. Can we be honest? All right. My pick of the week, the Panthers come to play in my neck of the woods at the Seahawks. The Hawks are -5.5. Yeah, they looked like warmed over dog ass in week 1, but then they went and beat the Detroit Lions on the road. The Panthers come to them, and starting at quarterback for the Carolina Panthers is Andy Dalton. No. The Seahawks are going to win this game easily. Dalton is washed up. He's a statue. He might as well be Joe Flacco. So the Seahawks win this game easily at home. It should be when it was announced Dalton was going to start for the Panthers, I thought this line would jump to like -8.5, -9. It went from 4.5 to 5.5. I think that's a short price. I will take the Seahawks -5.5 at home with Andy Dalton starting for the Carolina Panthers, who overall suck anyway.
I have mixed feelings on that pick. I don't really know which way to sway with those two teams, so I'm just going to leave you to it. Jeremy, I know you're not much of a betting man, but do you have a pick of the week for this week?
I'm not even sure what the line is on this game, but I really like the New Orleans Saints to go into Green Bay and beat Green Bay this week.
+1. It's +1.
Yeah, I think
basically that's a money line pick'em, right?
Yeah.
So what that means, Jeremy, is you can't win or lose by more or less than 1 point. So you might as well take the money line, which is going to cost you less juice on the VIG. So all that being said, you like the Saints to go into Green Bay and win.
Yes. Keep it simple. They're going to go in and win. Start of the season 3-0.
I will just emphasize one thing. The New Orleans Saints defense has not allowed a team to score more than 17 points on them in 10 games.
In 10 games. That's pretty impressive, actually.
That is impressive.
They do have a really good defense.
That is a solid defense. I was about to say, for this year, who do they play? Carolina, and who do they play in week 1? Who did they play in week 1? I'm asking the Saints, man.
Well, no. Green
Bay,
Chicago.
I was in Alabama working a trade show for
Magpies. It was the Titans.
It was the Titans, yeah. That's right.
Titans. Remember the Titans, for God's sake.
The Titans are an interesting game. Who the Titans playing, Christian?
The Titans play
the Titans
Browns.
Upset somebody last week and scored
they upset everybody last week.
They upset the Chargers, yeah.
Chargers, yeah.
All right, well, that's our – go ahead.
No, I'm just saying I think the New Orleans win over the Titans takes on a bigger importance with the fact that the Titans went and beat the Chargers.
Yes.
All right, well, that's our pick of the week so far. We're going to head on and go into Loud Esmond's picks, his best college picks, his best NFL picks, and we're just going to be here to commentate along. So go ahead, Loud. The floor is yours.
All right, so Rocky took one of them. Broncos at Dolphins -6.5. For God's sake, why are the Broncos not 12, 10, 11-point dogs in this game? It's in Miami. Denver sucks. Russell Wilson's awful. Maybe this is all about Jaden Waddle not being available for the game because he's in concussion protocol. But, Tyreek gets double coverage every game anyway. So what difference does it make? I don't understand this line. I'm with you, Rocky. Dolphins -6.5. Of course, you already heard me say I love the Seahawks -5.5 with the Panthers coming to town. And I'm going the opposite way than most of y'all. Bills -6 at Commanders. I have no reason to believe the Commanders can beat the Bills. There's no reason to believe that. So Panthers at Seahawks, Seahawks -5.5. Bills -6 at Commanders. Broncos at Dolphins -6.5. Those are the NFL picks. Open the floor for commentary.
All right, Rocky, you can go on ahead and comment on
Yeah,
that.
well, I agree. I agree that there's no reason why the Washington Commanders should beat the Bills. That was a wonder dog, the biggest underdog that I thought might have a shot. So I picked them as an underdog.
I get it.
I would not run to Vegas and bet that.
I get it.
Right. Okay. Just to be clear. So listen. Look, a bunch of other big games. Christian, what are some of the other big games that are coming up? Big primetime games.
Primetime games. You got me kind of out of here.
Hang on a second. Then, if you want to talk about important games, I'm going to college football. Here's the slate of games I'm watching tomorrow. 9 o'clock in the morning, West Coast, Florida, Clemson. Florida is -2 in that game. 12:30, Neon Dion, Colorado takes on Oregon at 12:30. Ole Miss at Reeling, Alabama on CBS at 12:30. Oregon State at Washington State on Fox at 4. 4:30, Texas at Baylor. 4:30, the game of the day, Ohio State at Touchdown Jesus at Notre Dame. And at 7:30 West Coast, Cal at Washington on ESPN. There are 70 games in college football on TV tomorrow. That is what I will be watching. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games.
Yeah, I'll be at the powwow. Lou, can Notre Dame win that game?
Yes, they can, because for the first time since Joe Montana, they have a real quarterback.
Real quarterback, yeah. Well, I'm with you. I'm pulling for Notre Dame. Rest of them I couldn't care about.
Because they're
The
not
Jets,
on your
Christian,
because they're
the
not
Jets-
on my fantasy football team.
The Jets are at home, and the Patriots are coming to New York. Is that right?
Yes, the Jets are at home where the Patriots are 2.5-point favorites coming into New York.
Christian, take us through the schedule on Sunday, and we'll all throw in our comments on all the games.
Okay, so Sunday, Chargers go into Minnesota where Minnesota's 1-point favorites.
Go
Chargers.
Minnesota.
Yeah, I'm with Chargers
Minnesota.
as well. I actually think this might be the first tie of the year, just because how
That's
close the
split.
line is.
All right, moving on.
Justin Jefferson's gonna destroy that secondary.
Yeah.
He's gonna have 200 receiving yards.
Moving on, we got the Titans 3.5 going, 3.5 plus going to the Browns.
Titans.
Titans.
Yeah. I gotta
Titans.
go Titans now too.
Yeah, Texans go to Jacksonville where Jacksonville is -8.
Who cares?
Jacksonville.
Too many points. Who
Jacksonville.
cares?
Yeah. Patriots -2.5 going to New York Jets.
Patriots.
Patriots.
Jets. Saints +1 going to Lambeau Field to play the Packers.
I see. I'm the only guy who likes the Pack. I'm the only guy who likes the Packers.
I like the
Pass.
Packers too.
I like the Saints.
Okay.
Broncos +6.5 going to Miami. Miami.
Yeah, the Dolphins beat the Donkeys.
Yeah. Bills -6.5 going to Washington Commanders.
Bills.
Bills.
Commanders. Upset.
Commanders. Yeah.
Attaboy. Attaboy.
Yeah. Falcons +3 going to the Detroit
Lions.
Lions.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take Detroit.
I like Detroit.
Only because their quarterback has better experience. They're both gonna run the ball.
Oh,
They're
that's a
gonna-
clean sweep. That's all three of us on Detroit. That means they're going to lose.
Every week. The Colts +8 going to Baltimore.
Ravens
Ravens.
by 50.
by a mile.
Gardner Minshew's not going to do a lot there. Panthers +5.5 against the Seahawks.
Hawks.
I like
Seahawks.
Seahawks.
Hawks, yeah. Cowboys -12.5 against Arizona.
Yeah,
Cowboys.
I don't like
Second
that
team.
I
They
don't
can
like
start
It's
that
a
at
big
home.
spread,
It's a
but
big spread, but the game,
Yeah.
winner
Yeah, it's-
itself.
Yeah,
I
winner
think
itself, Cowboys.
with about 3 minutes left, the Cowboys get a garbage time score and put it over.
Bears plus 12.5 going to Kansas City.
Oh my God!
I know,
Bears
right?
are a
Yeah.
dumpster fire.
That's bad.
Kansas
By the way,
City.
you were talking about how bad the defense, how bad the Raiders were. The Bears are the only team that are worse on
Right.
every stat.
Every freaking
While
way.
we're here, we're almost at the end of this. Can we all agree the Justin Fields hype it's done?
It's
We
over.
can all-
He's
it's
done.
over.
Stick a fork in him.
Yeah,
The
then he
Bears
came
are
out and
done.
blamed, he
Justin
blamed the
Fields is
coaches.
done. The coach is done.
done.
The general manager's done. They may relegate the Chicago Bears to a lower division of football next year.
You hear
He'll be
that?
the big.
Blame
He'll be the
coaches.
key new team in the XFL USFL combination.
Right. The Chicago Bears are joining the USFL and XFL
Yeah.
along with the Raiders, so it's even.
All
And
right,
they're underdogs.
Steelers plus 2.5 going to Las Vegas.
Steelers.
Vegas.
Vegas.
Vegas, baby.
1 minute.
Eagles -5 going to Tampa.
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 Baker!
Yes, thank you.
Baker!
Thank you. We're all here. We're all here on it. Thank you. All right, and the last game of the week, Los Angeles Rams go to Cincinnati to play the Bengals plus
Rams.
2.5.
Rams.
Rams. Yeah, we can all agree Rams
I'm
got
going
a
to
good
bet
young
the
core.
hook up to 3 and take it from -115 to like -125, -130. So I get the field goal. But that's the way I'd bet that game.
All right, everyone. This has been Steer Line, where you got all your NFL news, your betting advice, and fantasy picks. Thank you guys so much. We're Steer Line, and we'll see you guys next week for NFL Week 4 updates. Let's go.
So
Go Raiders, go football.
Go Rams.